3rd chapter. We want to look at 3 verses today.
All right, Reverend.
Epistle of 1 John.
All right.
We're going to look at verses 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1 John. Third chapter. Are you with me?
Yes, all right.
Amen. How great is the love the Father has lavished on us,
All right.
that we should be called children of God.
All right.
And that is what we are. The reason the world does not know us is that it did not know Him.
Say that, Reverend.
Dear friends, now we are children of God.
Yeah.
And what we will be has not yet been made known.
All right.
But we know that when He appears, we shall be like Him.
All right.
For we shall see Him as He is.
All right. And all right.
Everyone who has this hope in Him
This one.
purifies himself just as He
Preach on.
is pure.
Preach on.
We'd like to use for our subject this afternoon the value of relationship.
Yeah, Reverend.
The value of relationship.
All right.
Human beings are distinguished from the vegetable kingdom and the animal kingdom, and one of the elements of their being distinguished is humans have relationships.
All right. All right.
Relationships is that thread of kindred that runs through us. If you will recall, God in the Garden of Eden, He set it up in such a way that man had to be social.
All right.
He was social because when
Preach
man
on. Preach
was
on.
all alone,
Yeah.
God told Moses to write and tell him that He brought all the animals before him.
Yeah.
And He named all of the animals as they come to Him.
Yeah.
But there was none found for him to be a helpmate.
Yes, sir.
And then God said, well, let me do it a different way.
Yeah.
And He cast a deep sleep
Yeah.
over Adam,
Preach it, son.
laid him out on the ground,
Yeah.
opened up his side,
Yeah.
took out a rib,
Yeah.
and then began to create
Yeah.
from the dust of the ground
Yeah.
that which we call woman.
Yeah.
We are made to be social.
Yeah.
Relationship has to have
Son.
value to it.
Yeah.
When I say value, I mean that importance, that intrinsic thing that we put
Preach, son.
towards something to make it worth what it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Relationship has to have value.
Yeah.
Because relationships give the moral compass. Relationships give light to the eternal soul. It will abide in the consciousness
Yes,
of men. Just as men are tripartite creatures. You know, we have a body, a soul, and a spirit.
Yeah.
Therefore, we even have relationship within ourselves.
Yeah.
If one, how often have you found people that are called double-minded? What it's saying when they say they are double-minded, it means that their mind is going one way and their heart is going another. What we need to understand is that even in our own bodies,
Come on, Kendrick.
our bodies have to work together. It has to work in unison.
Yeah.
We are talking about 148 years. There had to be some relationship among this people.
Yeah. All right.
We are in this relationship, and the relationship is important and it's vital that we have relationship.
Yeah.
The reason it's vital is that relationship is the foundation of us moving forward into fellowship.
Yeah.
You'll never have fellowship until you have relationship.
Yeah. Right.
You can't have fellowship when folks don't get along with each other. When we understand whose child we are.
Yeah.
I understand that if we understand whose we are, then we understand that it's not my way or the highway.
Yeah.
We understand that it's his way or no way.
Yeah. Walk it, Kendrick. Preach, son.
Relationships. John tells us in the first verse, for the King James Version, said, what manner of love is this?
Yeah.
The NIV says, how great a love.
Yeah.
Let me stop right there. And let me give you, before I do that, let me just tell you, John wrote this epistle because there was a problem in the church.
All right.
There's always going to be problems in the church.
Yeah.
The church is the local church is just a body of believers that have come together.
Yes, sir.
But the problem is not everybody in the church is a believer.
Yes, sir.
We have Jesus said, let the wheat and the tares come up together.
Yes, sir. You walk it, Reverend.
Let them come up together. So everybody in the church is not a believer.
Yeah.
That's the first premise we have to operate on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can treat them anyway, because we who are in leadership don't know who is and who isn't.
Yeah.
Jesus said he will separate it later.
Yeah.
Jesus is in charge.
Yeah.
Because there might be somebody that don't know him today.
Yeah.
But all by the grace of God,
Yeah.
they might know him tomorrow.
Yeah.
We understand there has to be relationship. John was writing to this church, and as John was writing to his congregation, they had a problem. One of the big problems was they were Gnostics. There were a lot of Gnostics in the congregation. What is a Gnostic? It's the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. So they were resting not on the faith in Jesus Christ, but they were waiting and resting and standing upon the knowledge that they had, what they've heard. Don't you know you can be a hearer of the word, but not a doer of the word? You need to be a hearer and doer both. That's why there has to be a relationship. They have to be interconnected together.
You preach it, Kendrick.
John was confronted with Gnosticism. They that know so much.
Yeah.
We still got folks in the 21st century that know so much. Know more than the deacon. They know more than the preacher. They know more than the pastor. They know more than anybody in the church. And haven't been in there 2 years. Come up, upstart. Ain't been in church in years. Don't know the church rules. Don't know the covenant of the church. Need to understand that there has to be relationship. There have to be not what I want. It's I no more. When you come into a relationship with any relationship, whether you son and father, whether you mother and daughter, whether you husband and wife, it's going to have to be some give and some take.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's going to be give and take. It can't always be your way. It shouldn't be always be your way anyway. Because it's not your church. You can do that at home. You can do that at home. But when we come to the church, when you become a member of the church, what you do is yield up some of that liberty that Jesus Christ has given you. You yield up that liberty. All that freedom that you have, there's constraints on it. Because your freedom don't infringe upon my freedom. I'm going to get to my text.
Come on. Preach it, Kendrick. Come on.
But John, see, these Gnostics, folks that know one group. See, you have to understand this about Gnosticism. Even within the philosophy of Gnosticism, there's divisions.
That's it.
There's not just one Gnostic. There's a whole bunch of Gnostics.
Yeah.
See, one Gnostic said, you know, we know that Jesus come in the flesh. And they writers tell us, Luke and Matthew tell us he was born. So therefore, he's human. So we'll discount the divine side of it.
Hold on.
So we just going to take the human side.
Yeah.
But see, that other group of Gnostics said, you know, John wrote in the beginning was the Word.
Yeah.
And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. See, so that tells us that God and Jesus hold co-equality. So since they hold co-equality for us, that means that Jesus was divine.
Yeah.
Human flesh is corrupt. John,
Preach, son.
John is confronted with this. He said, how? I'm sure he said to himself, how could you get so far off base? How? Trusting in philosophies. It wasn't philosophies that saved you.
That's right.
It wasn't philosophies that brought you this far.
That's right.
It wasn't philosophies that told you to come and become a member of this community, which is not an organization, but an organism. That means it's alive. There ought to be some growth within the community. So many people get upset because my church only got 12 folks. Don't you know God don't care how many you got? He said, word to them. I come together in my city that I will be in this. But I heard him say, but it don't matter what, I don't worry about the numbers, but you need to nurture them, bring them up in the admonition of the Lord. Teach them my laws, teach them my way, teach them teach them my commandments.
Oh, yeah. Preach, son.
John, now got to correct. When folks should have just been listening in the first place. Folks said, well, I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. That's why God gave you a leader. So he could talk to the leader. So that he could steer you. Not force you, not command you. But implore you to walk worthy of your calling.
Preaching, Reverend. You preaching. Son.
My first point.
Preaching, Reverend.
Priceless privilege. It's a priceless privilege.
Oh, yeah.
Taking this from the first. How great is this love? You know, before people will appreciate what they got right now, sometimes you got to go back and remember what it was like before you got there.
That's it. Yes, sir.
So a whole lot of us want to say, oh, I'm this and I'm that. But you know, it wasn't all that long ago when you were the first one up on the dance floor. It wasn't all that long ago when you wanted to go to the sea and it wasn't the church, it was the club. It wasn't all that long ago. When you thought you just wanted to please and satisfy the flesh. Oh, you know how we get. Some of us still got it, don't we?